Right. You have the worksheets with you. This is the front page. All that you see on the screen is simply a circle with a center point which is given as a dot, and let's see some of the keywords that we need to learn today. Okay. If you go and check your keywords, you will find a center point. In most of the sums that deal with circles, you actually see a center point which is given as O, the English letter O, in most of the sums. Now let's learn the different parts of a circle today. So the distance between the center point and any point on the circumference is considered to be the radius. That line is considered as radius. So in your worksheets, can you please write on this line as radius? So I'll just go there and write as radius. Spellings please, do not make a mistake. D-I-U-S. So we have radius now. So you all know the meaning. From the center point, it is any point on the circumference. The length between those two we call as radius. Now what happens if we actually increase this length on the other side? Well, there are so many radii one can draw, and let's increase this length. In other words, we are going to draw one more radius that side. So together now we got two radii. Radii is actually a plural form of radius, more than one. Now because we got two radii, both of them, right, together, we call it as a diameter. Please write the spelling. It's diameter. Okay, that whole length can be considered to be a diameter. By the way, that side and this side, now the whole circle is divided into two equal parts, and we call them, we call each one of them as a semicircle. Semi means half. All right. So those are the two important words. Now let's go and see some other keywords of the day. On the circumference, if you choose any 2 points, suppose I chose that point, I chose another point here, right? If I join those 2 points by means of a straight line, we call this particular straight line as a chord. It's a chord which has a fixed length. Okay, this has a fixed length, and it is the line segment joining any 2 points on the circumference. So this is what we call as a chord. Okay, watch the spellings please. So that is a chord now. Now the next part, because we are in this chord, I will tell you one more keyword. The figure so formed by joining an arc and a chord, or maybe by means of a chord and an arc. This is the arc, please watch there. That arc and this chord together form a shape, and we call this shape as a segment. Okay, write the spelling. This particular space here can be considered to be a segment. So let's just go and write full spelling please. It is called a segment. Okay, a segment. Right. So at the same time, try and follow this side also. There is a segment, because there is a chord and there is an arc. Because this arc is big in size, we call it as a major arc, and that arc is a small one, and therefore that is called a minor arc. At the same time, this particular space here, that whole thing there, is called a major segment. This is called a minor segment, and this is the major. All right, so we defined a segment. Now let's look at some other keywords. What happens? Well, you will actually see a line passing through the circle in your worksheet. There is a line passing through which intersects the circle in 2 points there. Watch, there is one point there and another point here. So if a line is passing through without stopping, it passes through the circle and intersecting in 2 points, we call that line as a secant. So this line is called a secant. Please learn the spellings. They are very important, and literacy skills, please. Right. So a line passing through a circle intersecting in 2 points, we call that line as a secant. Okay. Now what happens if this line, line is pulled downwards? I'll just make it a bit clear for you. Well, that's the line. The ruler indicates the line, which is the secant. What if it's moved down slowly, and at one stage you actually see that the line is going to touch the circle only at one point, right? It will touch the circle just at one point. That's the point of contact, right? So if a line is trying to touch the circle at just one point, and we call this line as a tangent. Okay, write the spelling there, please. It's a tangent. So you will also see this type of line in your worksheet. Okay, so a tangent and a secant. Please watch out. A secant is a line that intersects the circle in 2 points and it will pass through. And a tangent is also a line, but it is not intersecting the circle in 2 points. It will touch the circle only at one point, right? So those are some of the keywords that you need to know to actually start this topic. Well, there are many other ones, but we don't need to learn about them now. Okay, so those are the major and main points one needs to follow. All right, so keywords are there, spellings are there. Please learn them, those spellings. I think we finished center point, we finished radius, we finished that also. Chord, arc, segment, secant also we have done. A tangent we know, major, bigger one, minor is the smaller one. Well, these words, these two have the same meaning, please, right? Circumference we know, that's the length of the outline. That outline's length is considered to be circumference. Okay. By the way, a right angle is a 90 degrees. In other words, we can also change the keyword by means of this. All right. Now, what actually you have done now is you learned some keywords,